Let's talk about a city of extremes, Lagos. It's one of the fastest growing, most energetic cities on the entire planet, a place where incredible wealth is built right next to floating slums. It's a city defined by this unbelievable paradox. So how does a megacity like this, with so much contrast, actually function day to day?
To get our heads around it, let's just start with one number, 20 million. And that's probably an underestimate. That's more people than most entire countries, all packed into one sprawling, chaotic, incredible city. This sheer density, well, it's the source of everything, both Lagos's greatest strengths and its biggest problems.
So how on earth did Lagos get this big, this fast? I mean, its history isn't just about steady growth. It's a genuine explosion. We're talking about a transformation from a pretty small settlement to a global megacity in what is, historically speaking, the blink of an eye.
Okay, so the city's growth really kicked into hyperdrive after Nigeria gained its independence back in 1960. But here's a really key moment, 1991. That's when the government moved the official capital to a new city, Abuja. Now, you'd think that would have slowed Lagos down, right? But nope. It actually proved that the city's real power wasn't political. It was economic. It stayed the nation's financial heart, and its growth just kept accelerating.
So what is this magnetic force that's pulling millions and millions of people into this one city? Well, it's this powerful mix of things, pushing people out of one place and pulling them into another. It's really a story about people escaping hardship and chasing a dream.
It's a classic push and pull story, right? On one hand, you have people being pushed from rural areas because of things like unreliable farming, conflict, or just a lack of opportunity. But at the exact same time, they are being pulled towards Lagos by this incredibly powerful promise of jobs, of safety, and really just the hope for a better life. And that hope? It's built on a very real, very powerful economic foundation. Lagos is the engine of Nigeria. No question. It's home to huge international corporations, it's a hub for finance and tech, and it's a massive player in oil refining. Just look at enormous projects like the Dangote refinery, changing the entire landscape.
But the city's economy is so much more than just industry and finance. Lagos is a cultural superpower, and that's because it's home to Nollywood. And let's be clear, this is not some small niche market. We are talking about one of the largest film industries in the world, pumping out a staggering number of movies, employing thousands of people, and telling Nigerian stories to a global audience. So all this opportunity, all this energy and growth, it's absolutely remarkable. But there's always a flip side to the story, isn't there? What actually happens when a city's population explodes faster than its roads, its housing, and its services can possibly keep up? What's the human cost of all this hypergrowth? And that question leads us straight into the immense pressures that Lagos is under every single day. So for this next part, we're going to look at the direct, daily consequences of this relentless, nonstop expansion. And the strains, they are everywhere. For so many people, a steady formal job is just out of reach, so they're forced into the informal economy with low pay and zero stability. There's a massive housing crisis, which has led to these huge informal settlements. Things we take for granted, like clean water, sanitation, reliable electricity, are a daily struggle for millions. And then there's the traffic. The legendary traffic jams that can paralyze the whole city, creating terrible delays and fueling some serious air pollution. But here is the amazing thing about Lagos. Right in the middle of these massive citywide challenges, you find the most incredible stories of human ingenuity and pure resilience. So now we're going to zoom in from the big picture problems to a single community that's trying to build its own future on the water, the settlement of Makoko. Because of the way it's built right over the Lagos Lagoon, Makoko has earned this kind of romantic nickname, the Venice of Africa. You know, it brings up these images of canals and unique architecture. It sounds pretty idyllic, doesn't it? But behind that romantic nickname is a much, much harsher reality. Life in Makoko is tough. The homes are balanced on stilts over a polluted lagoon where people fish to make a living. Basic services are almost non-existent. And for a long time, the entire community lived under the very real threat of being demolished by the government. But instead of just wiping it off the map, a new idea started to take hold: regeneration. The goal was to work with the community, not against it. And this meant real tangible improvements, things like solar-powered lights to make it safer, proper toilets, and upgrading the local markets to support the businesses that are the lifeblood of Makoko.
And the ultimate symbol of this new way of thinking was the Makoko Floating School. Designed by the Nigerian architect Quinlay Ediemi, it was this incredible triangular structure built on a platform of barrels, so it would literally rise and fall with the tide. It used local wood, had solar panels, it collected rainwater. This wasn't just a school, it was a solution that was born directly from its environment. Now, the original structure was unfortunately damaged in a storm, but its real legacy wasn't the building itself. The floating school started a global conversation. It got people all over the world thinking about how to build smarter, more resilient communities in coastal areas everywhere that are facing threats from rising sea levels. And this brings us to a final, really provocative thought. The story of Makoko, a solution born out of necessity in Lagos, it actually poses a huge question for countless other cities that are facing a very similar future. As sea levels continue to rise, we have to ask ourselves, could the future of our coastal cities be built not just near the water, but right on top of it? It's a question that Lagos, in its own way, is already trying to answer.